when is the second?
Now.
Ah!
I'm just double checking the stream page to make sure it's.
You just made me.
Gonna let off
I don't think.
a premature cough to let you know that it worked.
Oh my god, come on. Show up, stream, come on. I'm streaming already, you bastard. There we go. Should be up now.
Oh god.
It should be black screen though for the second, because I didn't have anything on screen yet.
Have you ever had a book blue screen on you?
Oh, what?
A book?
A book blue screen on you.
Sure. I just now. No.
Well, there you go.
Let me actually resize the window for this. I don't want this to be that big.
Oh, no signal. So you should. Oh man, if that was a Windows blue screen, you should have done the Windows in Strange Places Twitter handle.
Oh, that was from there.
Oh, it was? That's
yeah.
Amazing. It's amazing. No signal. I'm saving it.
Hold on. Now I'm gonna. I have to find it again.
No, I'm saving the hell out of it.
Alright, should no longer be a black screen. So
We've upgraded to blue screen, guys.
No signal?
No signal. Hold on.
I feel like I need to look at what you guys are posting. No.
Yeah, it is Windows and Stream. Okay, look, I'll give you the real tweet now. Here you go.
Okay.
Change my thing to live chat.
Gotta get there. Yes.
Yes. I guess so. The stream's live. Just gonna wait a minute for people to kind of show up. I normally do this and set it up to be scheduled in advance by a half hour or so. People have time, but this was very last minute. So.
Welcome back to Cyrides World.
Yes.
Cyrides World.
Cyrides World. Is a catchy 90s intro featuring Pearl Jam.
Oh, I can't see the freaking chat on mobile.
It's nothing at the moment. Just one dude. Oh man, it's already 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot you're behind. It's 9 here.
Yeah, I lag by an hour.
Yes. Magic nipples from the past.
Have that for satellite internet. Got an hour delay.
God, can you fucking imagine?
Sun's an hour behind. For some reason.
Can you imagine trying to live stream and with an hour delay or something like that?
You couldn't. You would have to
I mean, you could. You would just basically have to ignore chat the entire time. You could literally not interact.
It would be I don't know, being live on the news. You would just have no outside input other than hide. Oh.
Alright, so let me double check some things. So anybody that's watching, oh fuck, my connection is shitting out on me on Discord. That's not good. As long as it's fine on OBS, I don't care. You guys can suffer, but the stream cannot. So live stream, Zera and chill stream. I guess I couldn't think of a different name for it. So, as much people here in the Discord server So if you hear other voices, it's not just me practicing my voice acting skills. There are other people in the call. So, yeah. Yeah. Magic
Yeah,
Nipples.
so, like, no, you got that wrong. You see, you
Oh
got
my God.
Sarides, then you got Sarides 1,
No, you got
Sarides 2.
I still
Sarides-
can't see the name change on my screen. It still doesn't show up.
See, I'm actually Frank, and I've been fooling everybody this whole time.
Maybe
And then there's
because,
just
like,
Ghosty.
I don't know why it's not showing up on mine, but it's still just everybody's by their normal names except me and Joey.
Is that hour delay
Yeah.
on Discord?
But yeah, we got like Ghosty, Seth, Magic Nipples, Frank, Music Bot, because I'm not opening a YouTube tab for this, Joey, and me, so.
Oh shit, it was really loud when I unmuted it.
Let's turn down audio.
The volume on that bot. Okay, there we go.
I'm not sure if there's any. Maybe not. Okay. Nothing I fix.
So yeah, welcome to the stream, people. Just kind of hanging out and discussing things, including some interesting, spicy little details about the future of how Myths Awaken is going to be handled. So probably be the most interesting thing. It's really the main reason for the stream. So I'm just going to be kind of dicking around playing other worlds in the background while we discuss random shit.
Oh right, I haven't played the new one yet. I just got back.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, are you back from vacation now?
Yeah, I got back Saturday, and I wanted to try it when I got back, but I got really distracted, so I haven't seen any of the new stuff.
I mean, it's probably better that you waited anyways, because the most recent version patch is better than the initial 2.0, so.
Or could I just pop open Unity and just be a dick that way?
I haven't pushed it yet, so no.
Oh, it's on. Why you do this? It really do be like that sometimes.
Forwarded your plans.
Yeah. Thwarted my plans, or your plans with my laziness, really. That's what it comes down to.
It really do be like that sometimes. Okay.
It does what it do.
Yes. By the way, can you guys in chat tell me, can you hear everybody fine on stream? Everybody audio balance wise?
Hello.
Because I forget, I'm not the only one in here, so I'm assuming it's capturing fine, but I don't know.
I'm gonna listen back to my own audio to see.
I also got the game turned down a bit. It's just music is off, basically, and sound effects are down low. I should probably actually like lean into my microphone when I fucking talk,
I
though.
don't know if it's capturing our voices.
That'd be dumb if it's just been my audio the entire time talking to myself.
Well,
I
at
can
the,
hear
at, the, at, the
myself.
beginning it was all of them. I haven't been able to hear nothing since the game opened, so that just might be me. Hold up.
Are you trying?
Desktop audio. Because this is the thing, I could see the audio bar move when you guys are talking.
Okay, well then I imagine it's working. I don't know. It's hard to hear my own playback and think it's working.
I'm gonna do what I normally do and open the stream on my phone.
Yeah, so, I just heard Nipple's voice, and it seems really quiet, so...
That's weird. Ow.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm hearing my voice now, and it seems quiet. It also might be because I'm not sure if, like, Frank can turn everyone down, but...
I don't know, I have, I thought Discord turned up fairly loud, but maybe and up desktop volume just a tad bit. So I have desktop volume usually turned down so that my voice comes through over the game better. Might be better now, but I could hear you guys on stream, so.
Can you hear me on stream?
Yeah, I could hear everybody on there.
Alright.
Well, there you go.
Let's turn down the game slightly more just in case. So how was your trip, Zeph?
Very buggy.
Very buggy.
So, okay, well, not like that type of buggy, but mosquito buggies. You know how like you look at a child that has chicken pox and you're like, hey, that kid has chicken pox? That's my leg right now. You look at it and it's completely full of red dots. That's just how many bites there are, but it was quite relaxing. The beach was shit. Can't really give any good advice on that, or fuck. But yes, very relaxing. I tried to get on and lurk as much as possible, but too much data.
Data be like that sometimes.
It really do be like that sometimes.
You know, it'd be like that to do something.
It do what it does and is sometimes and
It sometimes be do
the
oh,
thing
hey, look
that
at
it does.
It's a cameo appearance of Fisher.
Oh god, I don't remember how far back the stream delay is.
Oh yeah, I'm watching the playback and I realize it's probably delayed.
Yeah, I want to say it's like maybe a couple minutes delayed. I'm not sure.
Hopefully I don't have that problem.
30 seconds, maybe to a minute.
I mean, I have it set on like just normal latency, so because I'm not trying to murder my new internet that barely works better than our previous.
I'm hoping provided we're getting in our house. I'm trying to go with fiber.
Fibber.
That'd be nice.
I wish we had fiber.
The only person that
Fiber?
has fiber out here is AT&T, and they're evil. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't want AT&T internet regardless.
Hey, it's that or Xfinity. So either you get 100 megabytes and double the price, or you get fiber, but it's an evil company. So. Or you get nothing.
Yes.
You get no choice, and you can have dial-up.
Do a kickflip.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah. Also, hey Jordan. So I'm seeing who all I recognize in the chat. So Jordan's here, John's here, which, if I remember correctly, John is Carrie Enright, from Discord, I think, question mark. I always forget if that's actually him or if I'm thinking of somebody else.
Hey John, what's your Discord name?
Yeah.
Come on. Really fast.
Not trying to expose.
I know who he is. I know who he is from YouTube. I don't know his Discord name either.
I know him from like streams a lot, but I'm fairly certain it's Carrion, right? I see him more in here than I do in Discord. At least I think, if that is who I think it is. If not, then I'm sorry for fake doxing you. I fucked up.
What's your 16-digit?
Yeah, I need your social security number to confirm.
You want mine? I have mine.
No.
Oh, he says none, so I guess he doesn't have Discord.
Well, fuck. I'm very confused now. My life is a lie. I've gone on since
You've been completely mistaking somebody else.
I swear. Who the fuck is... Somebody's Carrion, right then? I'm very confused.
Reminds me of a guy I knew in college that got my name wrong. He called me John, which was my brother's name, and I wasn't able to correct him.
What actually is your name? Let me dox you now. Silence. Magic nipples isn't the witness protection program.
My dad was talking to me and I had to hear that. But yeah, he called me John on accident. I wasn't able to correct it, and he did that for like 3 years, and then eventually it was like, wait a minute. It was a really awkward moment when he was like, wait, are you not?
You should just just fucking let him go.
I didn't roll with it for so long. I'm like, it's so much time passed. I'm like, I can't correct him now. It would be weird. It's still weird.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so lesson learned: make sure you, if somebody gets your name wrong, fight till the end of like, I don't know, reality to make sure they get your name right, so it doesn't go for 3 years.
I love this new mechanic. It's so cool.
So look at these flips.
These simple flips.
There you go. Shout out. Simple flips right in the chat.
I fucking wish. Just imagine if just his just name just popped up in the chat right now. I'd probably shit myself.
Need to tell Tyler, be like, hey, make sure Simple Flips sees this.
But also don't, because I'm horrified that he would hate it.
Yeah, I would try to be like, hey, can you somehow make him subtly figure out that this game exists so he can play it?
But also don't, because
At all, yeah. But also, I could not hold him up to that because he would totally not do that. And
I don't know, I'm horrified at the thought of like someone I like look up to like that playing it and being like, wow, this is shit. And be like,
Game canceled.
What kind of asshole? It's like, oh, look at all the effort he's put into this. It's kind of
into this piece of garbage.
this AVGN.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't picture him being like, wow, this is garbage or anything, but him just like not really being a fan of it in general.
Oh, that would.
I would just be so crushed. I'd be like,
Yeah,
wow,
that would be more.
I'd like to die now.
Just straight up. And if his entire reaction was just meh, it would be depressing. Yeah, no, I get you.
Oh, no, fuck off, Frog. I don't talk to you.
Oh yeah. Exporting a file. Where?
By the way, if anyone wants to like raid the Discord call, it's literally just the Zera server public channel, so feel free to join. Make this either more or less awkward. Your choice.
You're talking real time with no latency.
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
Oh, by the way, at some point I will actually like discuss the real topic, the thing I'm like currently procrastinating bringing up.
2 hours later and nothing gets talked about.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Ghosty's still here.
Ghosty's always here. He's just
He just waits.
yeah. He just waits to pipe in with a random roast. This is patiently.
This game is looking better and better, like fine wine, you know.
God, wine sounds really good right now. I want some fucking wine.
Hang on a second.
Oh, I love doing that. That is so sweet. I love Zero chills. Yes. It's the best kind of and chill. Oh, by the way, let's go back to a question that was asked earlier because awkward silence. I want to do fodder at some point for the game, but it's not going to work like Spyro did. Just FYI.
This time they get shot down by lasers.
No, go see. Okay, back to you, Cave.
No.
Your speaking privileges have been revoked.
Also, there will be sea bunnies. If you don't know what those are, look them up.
Oh yeah, I forgot I
Better
wanted
be,
to do sea bunny
underwater
NPCs at some
bunny.
point. It's gonna be cute.
Oh, oof, what even is that? Looks like a slug.
It's so cute. Are you disparaging the name of sea bunnies? Because I'll have you
I
put
mean,
down.
the sea bunny name sounds cool, but the actual picture I'm looking at, it looks like a marshmallow or that has spikes on it.
Alright, you just
I'm
you're
back.
not allowed to see things now.
I got milk and cookies.
Alright, I see. So the answer to the question earlier is, which was, what is Magic Nipple's actual name, is Santa. He's back with milk and cookies.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. I'll just bullet with that one. You'll never find me now. I made a mistake when I made that tweet about me getting a house and I had a photo of it, like, should be, you know, there's not enough details around for somebody to recognize it.
Did
Or, you
someone
know, maybe
find it?
what it is. But somebody commented, you know, like, dude, do you live in Texas? Because I think I've seen that house before. I'm like, oh.
Oh, oof.
I was like,
Your Minecraft house has been taken.
I was just like, I'm
You gonna get
concerned.
raided.
Like, go ahead and move
need to-
again, please.
I was just like, no. No.
Might be taken with another house.
Time to insert force field mod.
Yeah.
How many help worlds would be in this game? So for, if you're talking about other worlds, just the one that I'm in currently. If you mean Miss Waken, that one's gonna have 4. How can one spin so fast and so much without passing out from sensory overload? I don't know. I'd probably throw up if I attempted to do a single somersault, so.
You asked me when I was like 7, maybe, but I could not do one now.
You could have asked me when I was 7 and I would have tried, but I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Zera is
Nah.
basically a strawberry marshmallow, so
Yeah.
she doesn't get sick.
I was about to say something about her fins, her gills help with her sensory.
Yes.
I guess, I don't know.
So, something insert video game bullshit logic here.
A point out feature of character that explains why they can do what they do.
Yes. See, what you didn't realize is that Zera has these secret adrenaline rush endorphin providing organs inside of her fins and gills that do things that make it so she can do this. And it's
She
fine.
has a gyroscope
Yes.
somewhere.
She has the latest iPhone model in her pocket, so.
I think that would be a hindrance.
Shut the fuck up.
An Apple. Excuse me, she cannot have an iPhone in her. I can just imagine an email from like Apple. Excuse me, we heard that she carries an iPhone. Well, we did not allow you to. let your
Cease and
character-
desist part 3.
Yeah, we cannot let this character carry such items. We do not see her as advertiser friendly. So
God.
somehow.
Oh, can you imagine that? Like, if my videos got like, for stuff like Zera being set to like not suitable for advertisers, like really?
I wouldn't even know what to go with. Like what? Because
Like,
what?
what is then? My God.
What's the threshold of violence? Because I don't even think there's really any in this.
There's bombs. Not
Yeah.
advertised friendly.
Oh well. Oh well. Oh well.
Does Zera lay
Also-
eggs or give birth? Yes.
Also, you can't be teaching the kids
I
this
didn't
math
realize what the
basis.
question was asking. Okay, well, we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that question. There was a time when I was like, oh, I should set up YouTube comments or the YouTube like live chat to be on screen with the video. I've since realized that that's a horrible mistake. I should
No,
never
you don't
do
need
that.
it. I like that. I noticed recently that some YouTube streams, as of like a few days ago, maybe a week ago, the live, like they should have the live chat replay now, to where you can just see what they said, so you don't have to do that. I noticed it's kind of broken, and it just kind of doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It depends on how recent the stream was, because like sometimes I notice mine, it takes a while before the stream chat will actually show up. And it'll
Well,
just say
you
for a
know-
while, like, oh, stream chat is disabled for this stream. I'm like, no, it isn't. Fuck you mean?
Yeah, no, I've seen somewhere the replay just starts where like the last comment was made when the stream ended, and it just never, like it's stuck.
Where the fuck is this last
There
live
is
chat?
no replay.
Oh, I'm blind. Any boss? For this, yeah, there will be a boss at some point. Ah, fuck. I won't reveal what the boss plan is for Otherworlds though, just because it's kind of like spoilery. So just, if
You
all
already did though.
no, nobody knows what it is. Don't you dare fucking say what it is, Ghosty.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be Kraid from Metroid.
No, it's gonna be ghosty.
It's
Test.
gonna be Ghosty. It's gonna.
Yeah, Ghosty's gonna be the boss. It's just gonna be like a
Won't be-
pinata of him, and Zera's just gonna walk up with a bat and beat the shit out of it.
It won't be. It won't be like
Oh,
a
fuck.
character of him. It'll be just a cardboard cutout of like a photo of him.
Or his avatar or something. Just like,
Not just him.
just taped onto a pinata. And just beat the shit out of it.
It's a very easy boss.
Doesn't fight back. That's because Ghosty in real life can't fight back.
Because Ghosty can't animate for shit.
Oh, taking the shot.
Getting spicy. And zero response from Ghosty. He's probably fucking muted. Or like deafened, he's not even listening.
He's gonna listen back and he'll be like, hey.
He's gonna leave a comment and a timestamp.
Yeah, what you said?
What'd you say, boy?
He's gonna hunt you down in the Canadian wilderness and find you deaf.
I bet he's gonna come back and be like, alright guys, what just happened?
Oh, there it is.
Well, I'm not rude or anything, but Jack, I mean, is that fucking shit down?
Yeah, there's gonna be swimming animations for Zera. She does have swimming, it's just, I haven't felt like it's at a level yet where it's working well enough that I'd want to put it in a demo yet. Like, I don't really, I don't know, like, until it works flawlessly in my mind, and it's fun, there won't be swimming, but it does exist, it's coded. She does have some animations for it, although they have to be redone. Oh, fuck. They have to be redone at some point.
Essentially, he has a list of levels, and all the ones with water, he's like, alright, move those to the back of the... Yeah, I can understand that, though. Swimming is...
It's one of those things, like, I feel obligated to include it just because it's like a, you know, it's a thing for Spyro, and, you know, like, I planned to have it, and we worked on it, but I don't know if it, like, just, because compared to the rest of her moveset, swimming is so tedious. Because everything else she has is fast, responsive, fluid, chains together, and you jump in water, and it's like you're a brick.
So
I would,
not tedious.
That's the thing. I want to like work on it until it gets to the point where I'm like, yeah, it's fun to swim in a 3D platformer.
I would
How's that?
actually. I would look at the Majora's Mask swimming because that's actually the swimming mechanic in that game is actually like quick, snappy, fun. So I mean, if you want to keep the same momentum.
Yeah, I don't want it to be sluggish and slow and like just unresponsive or just like clunky feeling like a lot of swimming tends to feel.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to feel realistic either because that would be dog shit in a game like this.
Oh no. Yeah. No, I would play the original Majora's Mask, not the DS one, because they fucked up all the swimming mechanics.
That's what I'd heard.
Oh yeah, no, they took all the speed out of it and fun.
I heard that was like one of the biggest complaints about the remake was the swimming was just brutal.
They took most of the mechanics and gutted them for no reason. Hey, remember this fun little mechanic? Well, we just streamlined it and
made it tedious and annoying.
Yeah, super slow, hold up, no button. Thanks. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, it's just swimming in platformers is such a low bar. Like, just swimming in general in games, there's like a low bar of clearance for what's like accepted as like, yeah, this is okay, this is fine. I have no qualms with it. But I can't think of a single game that I've played where I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed the swimming parts of this, and I would actually be looking forward to when I get to play it next.
Yeah, it's actually just kind of funny that, like, for me, swimming levels always tend to have some of the best soundtracks, but I never want to actually play it.
I guess it's the compensate. Here's this really great soundtrack while you play the worst part of the game.
Freaking, I remember like Mario 64 Dry Docks, like having to swim to the other side of the map to go into that like tunnel area. Just such a, I found out like I would just skip half of it by just long jumping over the on the side, and so I'd barely have to swim because swimming is super slow in that game when you don't have the metal cap or the tortoise shell, scuba shell.
Actually, off top.
What?
Yeah, that was
Frank.
all.
I have been summoned.
Yes.
Okay, remember a while back you said the Linux build thing? I should try building on Linux.
Yeah.
I forgot that, but when I did it, it crashes Linux. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
Don't do that again.
So it's probably best to build it.
I would think it would work better for Linux if you build it on Linux, but I mean, I don't have Linux.
That's the problem, and it's the same reason why I'm like, I won't release just like, oh, here's a Mac build. Like, I could technically make one, but I can't test it. I can't make sure it actually functions, and it's not built on a Mac, so I don't know how it's gonna function on there. Like, everybody always tells me, like, oh, but there's an option for it. I'm like, I know there's an option for it, but I've actually tried it, and it didn't really go well. I tried it back when the Holiday Adventure with Spyro was the thing, and the Mac build wouldn't actually play for somebody.
Not everyone owns every operating system.
Shut up.
Unless you're weird like me and don't have modern Macintosh, so it doesn't even matter.
Hackintosh.
I've got an
Well,
old
I mean,
G3.
I don't know, I'm just somebody that having like, somebody that's used like a lot of different OSs. I always feel like, I don't know, just I don't see how you couldn't just have a Windows PC laying around.
Yeah,
I can't imagine life not having Windows, because basically everything I do requires me to have Windows. It's always how it's been. Like, nothing's compatible.
Frank, just leave building on Windows for now.
For Linux users, get wine.
No, do not.
Okay, fine. I actually had. I mean, wine's alright.
I've heard it's
Personally,
playable
I-
using wine, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's some software that runs better on Wine than it does on modern Windows, made for like XP.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, maybe not new software, but I know at least old software. I don't know. Maybe Zera won't run very well through Wine.
Super Mario Sunshine did have good swimming animations. I don't remember if I would call the swimming in that game enjoyable though. Like it was better than 64 swimming if I remember correctly, but it wasn't fun still. It's tedious and slow, which is like the exact opposite of everything else in this game.
Well, actually, I think Mario Sunshine was kind of smart. In all the levels where there was either swimming, it didn't force you to, and if it did, it usually gave you something that made it.
Like that jetpack thing or something like underwater.
The jetpack where you'd be on a blooper or something. So it's like they knew it was not a fun thing to do. For a game about water, they do not want you.
I do that every time. Damn it. A big level based off of Doom? Probably not. I actually don't really know that much about Doom. The most I've played of Doom is like about an hour's worth of 2016 Doom.
I can tell you right now, if people thought Spyro looked out of place in Half-Life, Zera would look insanely out of place in Doom.
I can't even imagine that.
This game that's all gray and blood's everywhere. Zera standing there.
I'm like, it's one of those things, like, I know people have actually, like, seriously suggested, and I'm not saying it's, like, a dumb idea, but, like, a horror-themed thing for her, I'm like, I would have to cutesy that up so much in order for that to work, and not be super off-putting. Yeah, it would have to be spooky. I couldn't do, like, a horror thing with Zera.
Yeah,
It's just,
no, I said it
doesn't fit.
wouldn't match
I mean,
aesthetically or in colors. Wouldn't. Also, Doom maps are just mazes. Aren't really. Yeah. Also, you get a nice lawsuit from ZeniMax, so.
yeah.
And they're very crazy right now.
Oh god, 64's camera is atrocious.
Oh, somebody asked about that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the camera. That was. They weren't quite sure how to handle the camera, and you can tell.
Hey,
They had a leftover mode where it would stay in one spot because of the that they may put into it, and they left it in as like a tidbit.
what's the lore behind the crushrooms and mushrooms? Puns. That's the entire lore behind them. I don't know. It's not really all that much lore except that they were just once mushrooms and they became sentient and angry, as this Froke says.
There's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with like spooky, like the color tones. It's just horror and spooky are different.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I have like spookier levels, kind of like not Dark Rift, but Dreary Valley is like it's all sort of darker colors and like purple and stuff like that. But it's definitely not a horror level.
Yeah, but also the aesthetic of that. It doesn't suddenly become like, I don't know, blood and guts everywhere. It's not.
Like, I could do some like Spooky's House of Jump Scares kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
But it goes beyond that. We start getting into territory where I'm scaring off my, audience. It's just really jarring. Any further into horror than that?
What?
Also, hello.
Oh shit! I was supposed to. Oh. The fuck? Try that again. Thank you.
I'm not opposed to like actually doing like some zombie or like ghost looking stuff. Like if it's like full on like just kind of goofy shit like that, like it'll definitely happen at some point. I mean, there's already gonna be a Halloween themed level in Mists Awakened, so like, I would expect that kind of level of spooky kind of designs to show up. It's just never gonna veer much further in that direction though.
The bushes of Fractured Hills comes to mind. Yeah, that's kind of an enemy that made me jump the first time I came across it.
Like the closest kind of jump scary things you're ever gonna get is like, I don't know, like the crush rooms and shit like that in this. Maybe then they're not super scary.
I actually don't know about that. Somebody
What the
asked
hell are
about
you
it.
guys up to?
Oh.
Shitposting on Livestream.
Okay.
Somebody asked about voice acting. I actually don't know.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Kinda,
voice acting at some point. It's just it's one of those things that I feel like kind of has to be done towards the latter end of the game's development. Or the later end of it, like it's just I don't know, not at that stage for either game.
Yeah, getting voices is kind of hard when you don't entirely know what everybody's supposed to say.
Yeah, there's also that. There's not really a lot of dialogue yet.
Yeah, I have a guy who did the scientist voice in my mod asking, "Oh, hey, when are you gonna do more lines?" I'm like, I don't know of any yet. Like, I don't have like an idea, so I don't want you to just waste your time making lines that I won't use.
There's also the fact that like Zera herself will not speak.
Uh,
It's like so the main character herself doesn't actually need voice acting either. So I'm like not really in a hurry to get started on it because of that.
Hi, I'm Pink.
Oh my god! Shut up.
she's not gonna have an in-your-face coffee attitude.
Yeah, take that.
Oh my god! Stop.
That was a leak beta voice.
Yeah.
Woo, that was close.
Oh my god! I'm gonna murder you, Joey. Shut the fuck up.
It's more like Mickey Mouse now.
Gorge. Okay, I'm done.
Oh my god.
Gosh! Crazy Max. Somebody died.
Yeah, Gabe joined for a second and left.
What is Zera exactly? She's a cross between an axolotl and a fruit bat. Which are two of the cutest, purest things on the planet. I don't know why I did that.
Oh. Do you think the game will require crowdfunding in the future?
Require? No.
Also, top-notch voice acting, guys.
Oh god.
There we go, Joey.
Spoiler, I may or may not actually end up having Joey do some voicing stuff in the future. Nothing like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh. I need to refresh the stream.
Like his, he was messing around one day, he was over before 2.0 was out, talking about the Golomites, and I kind of liked his attempt at it. His initial one, anyways. His subsequent...
Yeah, not like this.
No. I can't wait until there's enemies in this level. I've got some ideas for Dark Rift. I've yet to work on them, but it should be kind of neat if I end up going that direction. Thinking about doing like a almost like gargoyle-like stuff, like frozen in stone until you get nearby it. These be like these rock monster kind of things that'll come to life. They'll have like red crystalline bits and pieces poking out of them. Could be neat. I want to have some flying enemies too. Is one of the reasons I'm thinking like gargoyle-like stuff.
More jump scares.
No.
Well, I mean, they'll come to life, so you may.
Toridori should voice Zera. That actually would be kind of interesting. She, you know what? She, like, I could hear her voice as like Zera when Zera's like much older. Like, I could definitely picture that. For now, it's like won't be any voice for her just because she a newborn bab and has no voice yet. I don't know if I ever really planned for her to speak in any of the games, to be honest. Ah, fuck. Close. So, I think we've, or I say we, but I've procrastinated long enough. Let's actually talk about the thing I want to talk about. So yeah, Mists Awaken's development and how it's going to be handled post Zera Otherworlds. That's a fun topic. It's probably going to be early access via like Patreon or something. It's kind of in the direction I've been leaning. Just because of how this has gone so far. It's been ridiculously well. And the feedback during development on it has been super great. Also, did everybody in the call die?
Yes.
I'm alive. I'm just letting... I think everybody else has died. I think everybody's mute.
If Zera cannot speak, how does she understand the English of NPCs? I mean, there are people that are mute that, you know, they don't ever talk, but they can understand English. She doesn't talk yet. Who are the denizen of this level? That would be the Golemites. These guys right here. Yeah, so I don't know. It's like some people will touch a subject, kind of talk about like early access stuff, but I think the best route for Mists Awaken, especially if it, you know, actually wants to get released at some point in time, will be that sort of route. Just going along with the way that Otherworlds has been handled, with things being released and added to bit by bit and then tweaked with feedback. I don't know, what do you think?
I think like the Clive and Wrench like route of early access for patrons is always like a good way to keep funding, but also keep people getting something that they donate for. But
yeah, that's the flip side of that, is it actually gives incentive to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, anybody that's donating to the Patreon is essentially not getting anything from it. Yeah. But if they were, that would be one of the first things I could think of, is like, access to, like, beta test this, and it like I said, or like you said about like Clive and Wrench, that's one of the reasons I want to do it that way, is like Clive and Wrench, Nitro, Billy Bust Up, they're all doing that, essentially. They have like early access or like beta builds for Patreon supporters or something. And it's like a good way of being able to test both gameplay mechanics, the world designs, fix core problems with things, before release. so you're not like scrambling to fix something afterwards when reception is poor. It's like, I don't know. So I worry about like going for like, you know, 3 or 4 more years to finish Mist Awaken. I release it and it's like, well, it didn't have any of the same, you know, feedback kind of thing that I had with other worlds, and so like the quality's just like the way I could say it's like the initial version of Gaia's Castle for other worlds that release versus the current version now is I feel like the quality discrepancy that might occur with Mist Awaken if it doesn't have that live feedback. Like, the initial version wasn't bad, but it wasn't anywhere near as good as like the current version after all the feedback, everything was said and done. It's like I don't want Mist Awaken to launch in like that 1.0 version and then have to like go back and readjust and redo a shit ton of stuff across an entire, you know, multi-level game. Yeah. That spans, you know, 4 times as big as something like Zera Otherworlds.
Yeah, you don't want like version 1.2 where like 3/4 of the game has changed because of
like it's one thing, and it's more expected if the game is being handled like this to go through changes and stuff. It's in actual open development, and I mean it basically already is anyways. It's just the difference would be people actually being able to play Mist Awaken rather than it just being, you know, feedback based on what I see in a YouTube video, which isn't always the most helpful. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, like, AAA games get playtesting throughout development, which is... So it's like they do get their feedback, but it's like all of an indie game. Still, I mean, you essentially don't have any unless you do this sort of route.
Yeah.
It's just that... So it's like, that's, you know...
I want this, like, I want the initial release of something like Mist Awaken to be like at the final version, it's like, okay, I don't have to go back and redo, you know, 3/5 of the game because, you know, it's been openly developed and gotten feedback throughout prior to the release of, you know, the initial 1.0 as the full version. It's like, should be in a much better state quality-wise than if it didn't have that. I don't know. What happened with Sparrow? Yeah, we Activision happened with Sparrow. Got a cease and desist, so that was fun. So Reedies, what about having Medusa make an anti-Zera who's half Hellbender and half Vampire Bat? Probably not gonna do like an evil twin kind of thing. I don't know about that.
Pretty lazy.
I think it's kind of played out, and like honestly, I have ideas for actual villains and stuff already anyways, so I don't think I need to go that route. I think there's already planned for 4 different villains for Mist Awaken, including Medusa being the final big bad. This already has its main villain as well, and a character that I won't name. Not a twin, a hulking monster as big as Crusher Comp. I mean, I don't know. I still wouldn't probably want to go that route. I feel like there's... I don't know. Like, I've got more ideas for, like, stuff anyways, based on, like, the Greek mythology kind of stuff that I want to do as far as more bosses in the future are concerned. Hey, just tuning in. Have you all discussed how Zera can get out of bounds in Dark Rifts? I actually did that earlier on in the stream. Jumped up over there. Can't wait for Spyro to be a Disney character. Are they actually... Okay, so this is the second time I've heard something about this. Is Activision, like, actually potentially going to be bought by Disney? Is that, like, an actual thing?
There was a report saying that a Disney executive or investor thought it would be a good idea for Disney to try to acquire Activision. But it's nothing to do with, like, Activision agreeing with anything or wanting to do. But
I
it's
can't...
scaring a lot of... It's just another
I don't know.
scary thing.
Like, I don't know if I think that that's better or worse than Activision just being Activision by itself. I don't know if I think that's...
It wouldn't be much better. I'm just more scared because it's just... Like, it's not that it ruins Activision because you know they're just going to continue doing the same shit. Like...
That's what I mean. Like, I'm like, I don't know if it's really, like, bad that Activision would be owned by Disney now.
Yeah, they'll just get... Essentially, Activision will give Disney a cut. And Disney will advertise for them and put them in the MCU or something. But... I'm just more scared because it's just another thing Disney would acquire. I'm just like, Disney, stop. You've already won the game of Monopoly. We're done. It's like they used... Disney has every hotel on the game board in play on their own spaces, and they're like, hey, I need to buy 10 more.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no more.
It's like, we ran out of those 5 years ago.
Yeah, we ran out of
Please
those.
stop.
Oh, go find some... Go get, like, I don't know, Jacks or something.
Just give me more, please.
No, please. Disney, stop. You're good.
Meanwhile, I went and saw Far From Home yesterday.
Oh yeah, I saw that last week. It was good.
Can we do fan art of Zera? Yeah, go for it. I love seeing fan art, so. Will you be kissing Call of Duty goodbye? Yeah, see, I mean, if that was actually the case, I can't think of that really as a negative. Like, I don't care.
I doubt Disney would put a can on it immediately. Like, that's the thing, as I feel like Disney acquiring them would really only just get profits. I don't think they would acquire them to control all of their media. Necessarily, really just, you know, make more money. I just don't see it as a control thing. Most of their acquisitions have been just for profits.
So I think I'll put the ability to perma-fly in as a cheat with Zera. Probably not, just considering, like, Zera doesn't really fly. Like, that's just not her thing in general. I have zero plans for her to be able to fly. People figure out how to get it to work on their own, they can go for it, but I'm not likely to put in a fly cheat or anything, just because Zera just doesn't really fly. Who texted me? My work asking me if I want to pick up any lunch shifts. That's funny.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I called out of work today because my eye is pretty fucked up. Much better now, finally. Oh, man.
Is Zera's name supposed to be Aries backwards? No. Zera's name is in reference to something that isn't really relevant to probably 99% of people, because they don't know who the fuck that person is. It's just a reference to somebody. It was almost spelled with an X, though, instead of a Z.
Oh, we lost another. Oh, it was Cyrides too.
Yep. Frunk. Did the big
Oh,
death
thank
pasito.
Death.
So, the thing with Zera is, like, she herself is not specifically Greek mythology, but I do try to pull from it just in general for most of the other characters. Like, the main characters, anyways. Like, one of the main characters for Other Worlds, when I actually introduce them, is pulled from Greek mythology. Actually already has ties in Greek mythology to some of the characters that are already in Myths Awaken. Some of the main ones, so... How would I describe Zera's personality? What's her character arc? Derpy. Happy to be alive and just wants to explore and have fun. I don't know. She's like... She's just happy to exist. She's ready for adventure. So, some of the story stuff relating to just, like, who Zera is, where she came from, that kind of stuff, it's going to be explained in Myths Awaken, since that's actually, like, you know, the first game. So, well, you'll find out some more about that, but I will say she was essentially, like, I don't know, she just kind of was made to exist for the sole purpose of solving a problem. Like, she was a last-ditch effort to, save the world from Medusa. Medusa. God, can't fucking speak. Some Mike Tyson shit.
Doofa?
Medusa. TH.
Doofa.
Medusa.
Featuring a new original character.
This is the unknown character, Medusa.
God damn it. This has ruined me now. But yeah, Medusa is like, I don't know, Zera is kind of created intentionally to stop Medusa. It's like a last-ditch effort. That's why she's basically like a mute newborn that doesn't speak and is just kind of happy to go around and do stuff.
Just to clear this up, he meant to defeat Medusa.
Fuck.
Stop.
It's just gonna be like a comment now. It's gonna randomly get brought up. I'm just gonna see Medusa randomly pop up in comments and
Can't wait
things.
for, like, the next article from, like, Eurogamer.
Oh god.
Zera
Zera faces off against the evil villainess Medusa.
Zera, help.
Squares
Which
off.
is clearly a reference to the Greek mythology character Medusa.
Medusa.
Why they didn't just go with that name, I'm not quite sure.
Sounds almost like they fucked up the word.
People kept mispronouncing it, so we just typoed it. For consistency reasons.
On purpose, just to be clear.
Yeah. So she's not... It's not that Zera's, like, brought back to life to, fight evil or whatever. She was created for the sole purpose of doing so. She didn't exist prior to the events of Myths Awaken, essentially. She was created by Gaia, the goddess of life.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I have given you life. Go stop that thing.
we're reading the same thing.
No.
No? Okay. Although that was...
I'm going. Is it something you got pinged for?
Did I get pinged? Who pinged me?
No.
I did get pinged. Why did I get pinged?
Joey.
God damn it.
Or yourself.
Oh my god, he's just DMing me. He's DM'd me like 10 Medusas. God.
It won't end. Cannot undo what's been done. This shirt's not even aligned.
How powerful is Medusa's magic compared to the sorceress? Can she create monsters or only corrupt other creatures? I mean, at least from the perspective of like this Awaken, she's going to corrupt other things. I don't know necessarily if she's creating things or not.
I can confirm she is about as powerful as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku.
Oh my god, Joey's fucking texting me. I'm gonna kick your ass. Stop it.
We don't condone bullying.
Something don't bully.
People in this Discord chat.
From my perspective, one cannot create something out of nothing. Zera must have been pulled from somewhere. Well, I mean, basically, she's like essentially the last of Gaia's magic, really.
There's atoms in the air.
So if you, I guess if you want to look at it from that perspective, technically, like she came from Gaia. But like,
She looked over at a fish tank in a tree.
like yeah,
Alright.
that'll do.
I can work with those two objects.
God. Can Medusa make them ass cheeks clap? She was created in the image of a strawberry marshmallow. Maybe.
To put it simply, yeah. No.
If you make a sequel to this game, could make an NPC that's a poor imposter of Medusa, calling herself Medusa. God damn it.
Wow, I just... Whoa.
Shit.
Reproduced through budding?
Yes, yes. She's the SpongeBob of Greek gods.
Damn it. Yeah.
That's why she doesn't have a voice. She was gonna be voiced by Steven Hillenberg.
Oh god. You've made me picture that. I can hear Medusa like talking with SpongeBob's voice, and it makes me just loathe everything in existence. That's awful. Why would you put that image in my mind? It's literally the worst. Just the worst.
You said Hillenberg, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm retarded. That's not SpongeBob's voice.
That's
I mean, it's SpongeBob's creator, so I'm like, oh, Tom Kenny. Yep, obviously.
It would sound like the dude screaming in the robot film within the show.
I was gonna say, then does he actually do any of the voices then, Ellenberg? Or did he, since he's, dead?
The only other thing he did was the lips on the pirate.
Oh, that was him?
Yep, that's his lips.
That is interesting. I
Not
did
his
not know
voice,
that.
just his lips.
That's weird.
What a bizarre thing. They used his lips, not his voice.
That's just, if we start questioning things in SpongeBob, it all goes south. It's just, there's a lot of things.
I actually think that he used his voice and they're like, I don't know, we're gonna get...
Yeah, well, you're gonna keep your lips in, but your voice...
we're gonna get the voice
I don't know
of,
about that, man.
Mr. Krabs to...
Like a new hatchling Gorgon that has lisp saying she's the new Medusa and tries to be evil but horribly fails. God damn it. I'm gonna have to like blacklist that word from my fucking channel now. It's just gonna be banned.
Wait, what the heck?
Let's start filtering for Medusa.
We're just gonna see people just start working around it just to say.
Start using like weird like variations of like different font and symbols and shit to bypass it.
Medusa would have had of snake puppets.
Actually, that would be kind of amusing. You know what? If somebody wants to do Medusa fan art based off that, I'd be okay with that. Just like, I want to see like a newborn like Gorgon who wants to be all evil and tough.
Stop.
Hey,
It's just Medusa with inverted colors and a puppet hat.
yeah, with a lisp.
With a lisp. Yeah, with a hair
And
lisp.
she's like really short and like nubby and like she's got a hat, with snake puppets on it instead of hair made of snakes. That'd be good.
And oh,
Ooh, my Discord connection is biting the dust.
it's in the red.
Yeah, it's in the red. Luckily, connection to OBS is fine. It's just every once in a
Yeah, there's
while,
something
Discord
about it.
connection just like fucking dies.
Better than that then.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys can suffer along with it. That's fine. As long as the stream doesn't go down.
Yeah, I didn't apply to this.
Do you intend the game to have similar polygon graphics to Spyro, or upgrade the graphics just a little bit to make it look modern better?
I mean, I don't ever intend to upgrade the graphics, quote unquote. Like, I'm purposely going with PS1 style aesthetic for a reason. Because he's bad with the graphics. Shut your whore mouth.
When is Zera gonna get ray traced?
Oh god. I'm not a super huge big fan of a lot of aesthetics of modern day 3D platformers. Because lighting just kind of
what's
makes
up?
it not that interesting.
I want the
Yeah.
I like the more vivid colors and the simplistic nature of it. Just
I want all the
pops more in my-
photons bouncing off.
like I put PSX style up there with like, you know, pixel art in terms of an art style. It's just kind of underutilized in comparison though. It's not as respected, but I think it works just as well.
I think similar to pixel art in the sense of like games taking off. I think Lil Poly's starting to definitely get there, where people are really starting to appreciate it.
You see it more with horror games, I feel like, than anything else.
Well, usually horror games are part of a game jam, so somebody's doing it quickly. And that's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, that.
But there is
update is
also
out now.
there's also a few other ones though that like that's just their whole like aesthetic for stuff. Like I think Puppet
Oh, yeah.
Combo, like they just basically always do that style. Like they've always done like sort of low poly PSX style horror games, and I quite enjoy it.
Well,
Also, hey Cisco.
Look just fine. Lil Poly can look good. I mean, yeah, there was some bad 3D games, but you just don't make it look like those.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you can do it really well, I think it's just as valid an art style as like modern day stuff or like pixel art. It's just, I don't know, it's just definitely different though. There's different challenges to working with it and certain kind of ways you have to approach it differently. I think it's just
Good looking 3D platformer. Spyro the Dragon. Bad looking early 3D game. GoldenEye.
oof. Also, realistic style graphics don't tend to look super well with like low poly a lot of the time.
Yeah.
At least
Look at
a lot of them haven't aged very well. Sometimes horror can get away with it because it's usually pretty stylized. But that's the thing. If you can stylize low poly, you can do really, really well with it and make it
look
really
at a
work.
game like look at a game like Metal Gear Solid 2 or
I keep clicking out of the window. Damn it.
or what was the other one? I can't think of the name. I don't know, compared to like games like Wind Waker or like Rayman 3, which look great even today.
I would even say Rayman 2 looks pretty good for the most part. Being a
that's pretty
PS1
good, but
game.
I'm just saying,
I don't think it has the colors of like say the first or third game, and as much
Well,
polish.
I'm just saying, Rayman 3 looks like great even today. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
looks
And
good.
also the HD like not remake, but the remaster or whatever looks even better. It's just
Oh well, yeah, they basically just released it with the textures uncompressed, which is great.
that's the thing too. Like I think if you can go and do this sort of route, like the pixelation, the low poly sort of jankiness, even the warbly little like polygons themselves not being stable kind of thing. It kind of works as its own like aesthetic. I wouldn't get rid of it in a million years. Like even outside of Zera, I don't plan to go with the modern style of graphics ever. It's just not really my thing. If I'm remaking games.
Just have Ghosty do that shit. Probably not even listening, so I can be a little bitch about it.
Hey, by any chance, do you plan to make a proper installer and updater?
I would
other
like
worlds?
to get one set up at some point. I'm just not really sure the best way of doing that at the moment. The only thing I could think of is like potentially looking into like, at least for now, like the Game Jolt thing, because they have like, if you have their launcher, I think you can update and install directly from that. So we could keep it up to date for people automatically. At least I think, but again, I have to actually look into it. At some point, I do want like a custom installer and all that kind of stuff. And I imagine like if we ever ended up on Steam with either game, free or otherwise, like it would update automatically through there.
Yeah, well, Steam, it's automatic updates. Do you plan to put the demo on Steam?
What demo?
The Otherworlds demo.
Not at the moment.
Give them $100, yeah.
I mean, I could throw it on there. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
I'd wait on it.
Like, I kind of want to see like how things go with it first before I bother with that.
This is where we can start using Cinder's knowledge of websites to get a custom installer, and every time the game launches, it checks like a host and downloads.
Yeah, you can have always online DRM. And
Oh god, in your PS1 style game.
always online DRM and it's
in the free game PS1 style thing. At that.
Yeah, so if Cyredes' computer goes offline, you can't play the game.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my server is down.
Demo, I'm hearing sound, but I'm getting a black screen.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Is that happening on your end?
The stream is running fine for me.
Yeah, I'm in the stream.
Oh, it came up. Wait, stream? What stream?
Oh, I'm nothing.
I'm playing the game.
I'm streaming right now the game.
Let's stick with that.
Yeah.
So is the controller...
Say hi to 19 people.
Yes, we're on a
Hi,
live stream.
19 people.
So I gotta adjust your volume because I think you are now higher than anybody else in the call.
Oh.
I think
Also,
I are those 19 people.
Hey,
So
hey
is
Sai,
that-
are you gonna answer John's question?
No.
Okay.
Will you give I can't English. It's down to you now.
What?
Cerebus?
What?
I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Since Red Dead Redemption 2 has realistic Cork Pingus, will you
Nope.
give...
Nope.
What the fuck?
Wait.
Nope.
Oh, I just read the... Never mind.
Yeah. There's a reason I was ignoring that.
Oh, no, I did the last sentence. I'm sorry. I take back everything I just said.
John, stop.
And this is why the chat isn't on screen.
Just like Game Grumps. John, stop.
John, I want a divorce.
I don't think that worked.
Google Stadia for Zera.
Yeah, just pause the stream and pause it in random intervals. So they're on the Stadia. Actually, my stream's not playing back right now. What the fuck? There it goes. Fuck those, bro.
Medusa could look like one of those landlubbers from Spyro 2, wearing a blanket as a dress and a hat of puppet snakes, talking like the Mad Hatter. Oh my god.
Joey.
Yes.
You know what?
Joey, why?
Because he likes to torture me. He's already texted me about Medusa, like...
No, just read your chat.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, there you go.
I got it side by side on my screen with the game window, so...
Oh boy.
Let's... We're gonna close this. Okay, wait. Closed? Okay, thanks. Code output. Okay. You can hear the...
Thank you for the replay, Nipples.
I didn't do that. I didn't do the replay. I had the stream muted.
Have I made any more progress on Disoriented recently? I have not touched Disoriented since the game was Spyro Myths Awaken. I have not touched that in so long. I really can't at this point either. It's like one of those things, it's like a project I want to get back to at some point, but not until I get a lot of other stuff out of the way. It might be a few years really before I get back to that.
A few years.
I mean, I'm making a fucking like 2 platformers side by side, almost solo. I don't want to jump into also be making like a PS1 style horror game on the side as well. It's a lot.
And welcome to...
I really do love some of the ideas I had for that, and I did make more progress technically. I just never released anything on it. But it's been a really long time since I've even messed with it. I don't even have the files for that game on this computer, because it's on my other laptop. I'd probably rebuild it from scratch at this point, though, just knowing some of the things I do know now. Please make the main villain an old Griffin sorcerer. I mean, I already have a villain planned for this, for Zera Otherworlds and Myths Awaken, so it's not likely to be that. Yeah, this is the hub world. At least for Zera Otherworlds. This is Cosmic Core, which has some banging ass music.
Castle day.
Huh?
The castle one gets the day.
You either keep cutting out or you're like, what?
It's the castle music still gets me to this day.
I like the castle music, but Cosmic Core's always been like my favorite. It's just it's
the
got
beady
some,
one.
it's got some funk to it, and it's just nice. Before Zera 2, Gateway to More Worlds. How many people are working on this game? That's difficult to really say. It varies depending on what part of the game. I don't know, like there are technically other people working on it, but on average, it's usually me. Most people on the team do like just more like beta testing and feedback kind of stuff at this point, except Netrum, who does music and will do all of the music and has done all the music so far in its entirety, and fucking coder Zerasef, who does things here and there in the background, like I don't know, like just general mechanic fixes and things like that. Like helped me get this new recovery jump thing working because I was using one wrong line of code and couldn't figure it out for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I
Like-
saw that in the chat, and I was gonna like hop in, but I couldn't. Curious.
Oh yeah, so that's the new thing for the most recent patch, is that Zera has like this recovery jump thing now. Where if you go off a ledge and you don't, like if you end up in the air essentially without actually having pressed jump at any point in time, you can actually jump in the air. But only once, obviously. It's the same type of jump thing that you get from the handspring. It adds some interesting things. You have Spyro a cameo? About that.
Yeah, you can't.
I can give a Cease and Desist Part 2 cameo.
Color would be cease and desist. Just not green.
I don't know, I still do want to do some kind of Spyro-inspired thing at some point. I'm gonna have to be very clever about it, and I don't know, I haven't gotten around to it yet. Originally, I was thinking Dark Rift would be that. Like, it would be both a reference to Miss Awaken as Spyro, and also just Spyro in general, but it didn't end up being like that. Like, I was gonna have the NPCs living here be like drakes or something. What's your experience with the Spyro games? I've played all of the original games, and most of the handheld ones. The only ones I haven't really played is one of the Legend of Spyro games, and I've never played Skylanders. How does one join the team and contribute? One does not join the team. It's no offense to anyone in particular that asked, but I just not at a point where I want to add any more people to it.
He just forces people job get slayed.
Like I'm too particular and picky about the quality of things and like the workflow and who, like, and I couldn't even think of a job for somebody new to do, because everything that somebody isn't already doing on the team, I'm doing, and I enjoy and want to continue doing it. So it's like, I don't know, I'd have to like double up on something else that somebody else is already doing, like the music. I don't really want to. What's the story behind the ruins within the glass sphere? You'll find out eventually, question mark? Someday, or somebody will one day hack Spyro into this game. Good luck with that, honestly. Best person for the job in the Spyro community, at least that I know of, is Steve Blockhead, and he tried. It did not go well. It went worse than I expected it to. So there's a lot of reasons why it's not a simple thing of just patching him in.
Lowered the bar.
Like, good luck. Unity game hacking, from what I understand, is not super easy and friendly, and there's a lot of limitations, and because of the fact that it's not just like, oh, Zera's model just was swapped in instead of Spyro's, and it's like there's a lot of stuff that's changed in the code. It's just different skeletal rig than Spyro. It's just like 1,000,001 reasons why you can't just simply swap the two out. How about a grave dedicated to an ancient hero dragon? Who will carry his flame?
Pass down the torch.
I don't know, there's gonna be something in some way. I have to figure it out, and I have to be particularly careful about it. I also my main issue is like wanting to do something based off of like you know, or inspired by a Spyro level. It's like a difficult thing to pick a level that isn't overdone as hell. Like, I don't want to do artisans. That's so fucking generic and boring. And it's like the typical like Spyro level that everyone knows and uses in videos for things, and like modding other things. And it's also just, it's kind of like a boring visual level. It's literally just grass and a castle, and that's it. And it's like green grass on top of that, so it's just like, I don't know. But then like I'm trying to think of like what else is iconic in terms of like a recognizable Spyro level. Or if I should even go that route, I should just pick something else. I don't know.
Here's a quite interesting. Implementing modding.
Yeah, as much as I would love to do that, it is, from what I can tell, not super easy and to just like do. I don't even know the first thing about how we would manage to do that.
I feel like that's not really a thing that's in control because of how Unity compiles assets.
Like, it's doable, and there are Unity games with modding, but I feel like you also have to build the game from the start with that in mind, because
I think you have to, don't you have to code the whole game around it, essentially, to not...
Yeah, I've heard it described like the best way to make a Unity game that's moddable is to first make all the modding tools and then build your game with those tools.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to build the game and then try to build modding tools around it that'll work within, you know, hard-coded game mechanics and things like that. It's like, I don't know, it's... You'd have to be like a Mario Maker type situation where it's, you know, it's intended from the start sort of thing. It's set up specifically for that.
Yeah. No, but again, that has some modding that's on Unity, but
It's far and few in between, I think, really.
So much of the game is like just, insanely recoded. Also, it's based around a converter program anyways to get the levels put into Unity, so it's like, it's on like the 5th or 6th level of hacky. Whole game's a hack. Unity's just there for the...
Like the cheeky teaser of rubble clearing in this level. Yeah, so the reason that's like that is I ran out of time for version 1, so... But the level ended up being so massive to begin with, I was like, you know what, I won't just simply scrap that area, I'll just kind of block it off for now and revisit it in the future. And add more to the level. Cool Sprouse. God damn it. Forgot about that from the last stream or previous one or something before that. Apparently I sound like Cole Sprouse. It is really satisfying to do the chain bounce off the bases in that wind portal area. It's quite fun. Will there be any mini bosses more akin to Spyro 1 bosses than actual bosses? So, as far as bosses in general, I'm not doing arena style stuff like Spyro 2 and 3. Like, if you're expecting that for bosses in Zera, it's not what's gonna happen. Because I want the bosses to still be platforming based. I think as far as an actual platformer, Spyro 1 bosses fit Spyro, the original Spyro, more than the Spyro 2 and 3 styled ones would. Whereas those feel more like minigames of a sort. It's like an entirely different mode of gameplay for the bosses. And I don't want to put that in this. Because in general, we're not going to have minigames that deviate very far from like just the actual normal gameplay platforming collectathon mechanics. So expect the Zera bosses to be more like Spyro 1 bosses. Just in general. How do we feel about Disney remakes? Depends on what Disney remake. I really don't care that much for most Disney things in the first place, so I don't have like a super like attachment to like a lot of the older Disney stuff to begin with. Like, I've seen it, but I'm like, eh. So I don't mind stuff like The Lion King isn't like, you know, a spit in the face of my childhood or anything. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna go out of my way to see it though either. So I just have no general interest in it. Once did a handspring off of the wooden handle of the balloon and leap castle. I've yet to replicate the trick since. If you could even manage that, I would be surprised because the it doesn't have a solid world collision. Are you sure you did a handspring and not this? Which I've noticed that no one seems to realize is a thing for the balloon stuff.
The shift thing?
Yeah, where you can...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, I swear, like, no one realizes you can do that with the balloon. I've never seen anybody do it. You could do it either by gliding into it, somersaulting into it, charging onto it, or, you know, holding charge while you're already on it. All that kind of shit. Handspring into it. And I never see a single person do it. That's why I made reference to there being, like, a boost you get from the balloon in Dark Rift, because I'm like, no one knows this exists.
Oh, who died?
Your mama.
Not yet.
Oh, I see we're counting down the days until it happens then.
Oh.
I like how you had to stop and contemplate whether or not you were for or against counting down the days till her death. Like you were like,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with that.
My God.
Well, if answer C. All of the above.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, the balloon bar mechanic in general is not as well done yet as I would like for it to be, Cisco. So, it's like, in general, I'm not super satisfied with the pole swinging mechanics, which is why they've yet to show up in other worlds, despite being one of the last things that was implemented in Mrs. Awakens. They're still a thing, I just don't have them set up anywhere, because I'm like, what can I do other than making this game? I'll let you know when I figure out something else to do with my life. Like I make music, I guess? Sort of areas do you think are best for a 3D platformer sewer level? I don't know. I mean, you pretty much named like the general, generic, obvious ones. Like sludge monsters, gators, rats, that kind of stuff. Well, happy birthday, Tom Riddle Voldemort. Also, hello. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
Going from 19 to 26.
Really, if anything, I was thinking it was going the other way. I was expecting to look at the chat and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, there's 3 people here. Let's call it quits. Chat is dead.
3
Stream
people
is
just
over."
talking random shit.
Can this be? Could this ever be played on a PS1? I would fucking love to get that to work, but I really doubt it. Like, I don't think it's.
You'd probably have to build that in.
Yeah, it would have to be essentially probably built from the ground up again to really
ISO
properly
like
work on a PS1. I don't know, it's just, there's a lot of things this also does that PS1 games at the time could not do, and I don't know that the PS1 could do.
Well, probably the first thing you'd probably have to worry about is like mapping the controls, honestly, because like any sketchy remotes nowadays plugged in doesn't really work unless you have like fucking special
Unity for one.
because like a Windows PC, Xbox One, and PS4 controller, I forget the word, drivers built into it already. Like when you plug in like new controller and you have to download like special drivers depending on what's all used,
But this isn't even. It's not even built with the PS1 CPU in mind. 'Cause it's not,
That's the thing, is like I don't think people realize
how much
performance-wise
PS1.
this pushes it a fair bit for an actual PS1 game. Like the textures are actually fairly high resolution.
yeah. The architect, you'd have to redo all the architecture, but then it said the textures would all have to be indexed, and they'd have to be like 32 by 32 or smaller. So you're going to.
It's just, it runs into a lot of issues to actually make this an actual PS1 game. I don't foresee it, A, being worth the efforts, and B, actually ever working. And then God only knows what it would do to the physics. Like, I can't imagine trying to like reprogram all the physics, but on like actual PS1 dev stuff. Oof. God.
Shovel Knight does not actually run on an NES. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's like like as long, that's the thing with a lot of like the retro games, is taking, you know, that original style. This goes back to talking about like PSX style and pixel art. It's like it's taking the original, you know, idea and sort of aesthetic behind that kind of stuff, but pushing it to the absolute max, to a place where, you know, at this point, you know, the original consoles that kind of style originate from would not be able to actually handle it.
Yeah, it's got the aesthetic, but not the technical limitations of.
Yeah, it's like taking that aesthetic and just pushing it as far as possible, throwing at everything you
what
can.
they would do if they didn't have the limits.
Yeah. 1 megabyte video RAM. Oh god, this would fucking chug on there.
Unity would not run that much.
But that was
This uses shaders to replicate the PS1 effect. PS1 just did that on its own.
Also, this would have to go down to 30 frames per second.
Oh my god.
If it
would.
even managed that, it would probably run significantly worse than 30 frames per second.
Also, you have that downsampling filter that makes it pixelated.
Also, like, certain things would have to go. Like, I'm actually using post-processing in every single level.
Yeah, all that has to go.
Yeah, because that's not a thing on the PS1.
Yeah, and I was actually said probably the PS2, depending. Well, in my mind, probably depending on what it also runs well.
And see, in doing that would be like, well, that's cool, but it's not really. It doesn't really mean the same as it actually being like a PS1, so it's like it's not something I could ever see anybody bothering with. Where the fuck is this last relic?
This will run on a Windows machine.
Again, like serious dedication. Porting that shit over.
I know that there are still PS1 games being like homebrewed and put together to this day. Like there's stuff on how to do it, but as I looked into it, then I was like, nope, fuck that.
Yeah, so what you gotta do is you gotta open up your hex editor, go to memory address down here, and you...
I'm like, there's just no way. And all the stuff that has been homebrewed like that together, there's never been like, you know, a 3D platformer like that. It's all like 2D style games, and they're pretty simple and short. Like, I can't imagine trying to like put this on a PS1 nowadays. I would love to get like at least like a mini console thing set up specifically just for this though. Like imagine a PS1 style looking box that just runs Zera. You plug it directly into your TV and has a controller. Like, that would be cool. And that would be far more feasible than it ever actually running on a PS1.
If you actually got like a Linux build, you could then pretty much do that. You could get, I don't know, any retro console that's just a Linux machine.
What the fuck is this relic?
It would work. So.
I'm missing 2 relic. Or 2, yeah, 2. Missing 2 relic. Where the fuck is it at?
Oh, you could, if the homebrew scene didn't horribly die for the PS1 Classic, you could run it on there since it's just running Linux architecture.
Yeah, that'd probably be the closest, and even then...
But that died.
Yikes.
That died horribly.
Well, it's just one of those things of like, yeah, it's neat, but I never even was planning on buying it just for like, you know, having like an emulator, because I'm like, I could already run that, all that shit better on my computer. Why would I bother with getting a shitty retro console version that is just inferior to what I can do already for free?
It runs worse than the Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And, yeah, you gotta put a USB stick in it permanently, and it runs like shit. Good homebrew scene.
Where the fuck is this relic? What the fuck?
Level.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just like, what?
Developer came and.
I'm like, is it missing? Did it fall through the level somewhere? Where the fuck did it go?
Uh-oh.
Why didn't you go back?
That'd be
I was gonna say,
horrible.
terrible.
I've like been all over the entire level and I'm so confused. Where the hell is it at? What's your opinion on Dreams? It's a neat gimmick. I have zero desire to use or play anything made on it though.
I actually don't like I like Dreams, but
it's a neat thing, but it's like baby's first game development software kind of thing. It's like RPG Maker, but for, you know, modern games.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just
like I don't know. Except it's worse than that because it's not even like you can actually make and export a game out of it or something. It's like it's limited to inside of Dreams.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. Is it's too much of a like trying to just be.
Where the fuck is this relic?
You don't have to worry about learning game design. Just.
Oh my god. There it was.
Got it. I
don't know how I missed that the first time.
Can't wait to see where it is.
It's where I should have known it was. I'm an idiot. Didn't look there.
Dreams should boot up and it should just open a YouTube playlist on using Unity. And then there you go. Or Unreal or something, I don't know.
So hey Ashley, welcome.
Oh, the room.
Yeah, it's well, generally speaking, the route I take through that, I never miss that because going through there, I get it with, like, I get all 3 containers with a chain somersault, and I go to the left as I go through the door, so I hit the 1 relic, and then coming around the right side, I just automatically get the one on that side. So, I don't know how I missed that one. Oh my god. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm so bad at catching this fucking Snappy and Dark Rift.
Actually, one thing that just popped in my mind, chat, cutscenes. I remember you a while back, and I still see files, but I'm not sure I worked on it recently. I'm not sure where you're heading with that.
I still want to do cutscenes. It just hasn't been a thing yet. I'm not quite sure the best way of setting it up and, like, you know, pausing the scene, keeping Zera safe, and or like where she should spawn at or get moved to for this or that, or I don't know. Also, Sia, not ordinary games.
Because I remember seeing the Dragon Worlds with.
Oh, the Myth Awakens thing.
Yeah, that one. And then the what is it? I think there was 1 or 2 in things that I saw. The main one was being the Medusa one that I mentioned, but I just haven't heard anything, or I'm just being dumb and missing it. But
I don't think I ever did like a Medusa cutscene.
or my
I know at some point I made an animation of her talking, but that wasn't really actually it. I never set a cutscene up for it. Just testing the rig. I did do, like, technically the only other cutscene thing or type thing like that that I've done is the trophy scene when you complete the time trial on Jollyland demo for Zera. That's the only other like cutscene like thing, and that was a pain in the ass to set up.
I don't know. I'm watching the Dragon Worlds one, or is it? No, I think it doesn't show. It was glittering or something. I don't know. It's
See you,
been
John.
way too long.
I noticed
Oh,
the
no, it
stained
wasn't.
glass window can still be seen in the portal Elite Castle. Yeah, so the portal pictures, the way I have to get them in terms of like actually putting the image in there, I have to like go in, clear out the entire scene, basically delete everything from it except the level and cameras and all that kind of stuff, and then like position it, take a picture inside the editor, then go into Photoshop to cut it down to the right size, and then like it's just stupid. And so that's why like I haven't updated the Leap Castle one yet. It's like not only is the stained glass still there, if you look, you can actually see that the textures on the wall are still wrong as well. Because the textures on the wall in this are blue, like the old version. There's also no wood in the inside of the door frame. It's the freaking bricks. That's because it's just a picture I didn't have time to change. It's definitely on my list of to-dos though. So yeah, it's...
Oh, it wasn't Medusa. My bad.
What was it?
It was Shit, Joey, is your thing on?
I was gonna say I'm hearing an echo.
No.
Okay. Anyways, it's still the Dragon World scene, but it wasn't Medusa. I forget.
Oh, Gaia.
Yeah, Gaia. Okay, that's
I-
the way.
Did I post a video of that or something somewhere?
I
Sort of
believe you
test?
did. It was actually on your channel.
It might have been unlisted though. I don't think that one was a Republic. Maybe it was. I don't know. I just have to look.
I'll go double check.
Yeah, who's? Why am I echoing?
Fucking Joey.
No, it's not me. It's Bold King Cole.
You're literally the only one.
Am I making echoes?
A little bit.
I'm in the car, so.
Oh,
I get away
yeah.
from the people.
Being antisocial.
Yes, an antisocial little twerp.
There you go.
Plus, I don't like them to myself.
Yeah. Okay. So you did post that video, Cyrene.
Is it public?
Yes, it's public.
And just link it unlisted.
It's literally quote unquote a Myths Awaken.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I'll post it in shit post zone, I guess.
Oh, was it essentially like me trying to do like an updated version of the original Myths Awaken cutscene thing I posted like forever back?
Yeah, and this one.
Yeah.
Although, wait, this one's different than the one that was in the.
I mean, it's a tad bit different than the original one because like I have it do some.
Okay,
different
yeah.
shit.
So the one different. That's why I was confused because I thought there was one purely with Dragon Worlds with just Spyro, and then I thought I saw Gaia.
Well, there was the one that was the original Myths Awaken
Yeah.
or Myths
The one with
Awakens.
sleeping?
God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was like,
But then there
what?
was also the other one, which was like Gaia sort of pieced into that, and then it showing Sky Citadel in the background, like she was sort of.
I actually don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was not.
I did not-
That's why I thought I like posted it unlisted somewhere or something. Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember coming across that one. The other one.
Let me double check.
Holy pigeons.
What?
Watch it.
Pigeon, not a Pigeon of the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Pigeon of the Sea.
But yeah, I don't see any cuts. There's just that one. Oh, unless this is one. Hold on. No,
No,
it's
so
not.
the one you posted is the old one. That's the original.
Yeah, that's the scene right now. This one is Gaia. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it basically was the same thing. I just adjusted it slightly. I don't remember what the video title for that one was. Like, I
I
swear.
don't think there was a title for that.
No, it's test cutscene stuff featuring Modes, and it wasn't posted publicly.
Oh, unlisted. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that the private feature thing on YouTube is basically just not watching.
Well, yeah, the private feature is just. I might as well not upload it at all then, because no one can see it, so I don't know why you bothered.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat if anybody wants to see it. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, that one was. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh my god. Well, apparently Overwatch has their own version of Sig. Listen well, X.
I feel like it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I don't remember the entire cutscene. I could sound like Sigma. Just
You think this test cutscene was also made after I started actually adjusting Dragon Worlds in this level model, started modifying it? Because the other one was just like the original one with the nighttime skybox.
I mean, I could be like a little obnoxious. Different one in the test scene. It doesn't have Spire. Huh.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you can actually play that scene. You might have to drop Zera into it.
Oh, you can play it. There's just no character.
Well, and the camera I don't think is set up properly in that scene anymore.
No, it's.
Because it's based like it's all like screwed up because it doesn't have any of the required assets for Zera to load in properly or camera to do shit. Because the camera has that whole graphics thing and the fake resolution stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of Gaia, she's also going to be getting redesigned at some point to be more like the art that Nahamut did.
what do you have planned for a read?
It's not much of a difference really, just making her less fairy-like, more human in shape. And also just redoing it because the model was not super great. And also I wanted to add something that Nahamut added in her art, which was red lipstick. I know why she added it, because it kind of looks like that's what she has on the model, but it's actually just her mouth. But I like that look better. So at some point I'm going to be redesigning her. Especially since she's no longer a Zoe stand-in.
Does that also mean that she won't be blue anymore?
No, she's going to be blue. It's just literally, I'm just going to be... Like, when I say redesign, I just mean I'm going to redo the model and make it better quality and fix the proportions. And add the red lipstick part from the art. That's it.
Alright then.
So in general, I like the design that she currently has. It's just proportions need fixed up.
Oh, I actually lost. The level does load. Just the camera's really broken.
Yeah, well, because it's trying to like render to a canvas that doesn't exist, probably,
Yeah.
or it's like not set up to. I don't know. It's there's a million reasons why it's probably not working. A lot of the like if you go into Drury Valley or Sky Citadel or Canvas Falls or Mystic Forest, none of those scenes technically work right at the moment. You have to remove the
Yeah, I'm just-
canvas
yeah,
from
just
the
small.
thing to get on board. And you can't collect any relics at the moment on those. It's just because of stuff that's changed since Other Worlds. It's easy fix, but it's just annoying. I'll have to go back and do it at some point.
So Ghost was asked release on.
That's fine. I know people ask that a lot, but it's one of those like, duh, is this gonna be a thing kind of questions that everybody's gonna want to know, just because it would be really cool at some point. But I don't really have an answer just until we get further along and we get to that stage of development, which could be a while from now. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say if it's gonna be like a console release of any kind. Like, if I was gonna do a console release too, I'd probably really only bother to go with like a PlayStation release as well. Maybe a Wii U, or not Wii U. I'd go with the Wii U release. Jesus.
That'd be
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Like,
Wii U.
I meant Switch. I'd go with like a Sony release, because obviously, being what it's inspired by, like, it makes sense for this to end up on like a Sony console if it's gonna end up on a console at all. But I could also really see like potentially a Nintendo console, whatever the current one is, just because I don't know, I feel like it'd be at home at that kind of a platform. Colorful, bubbly sort of nature of it all.
The Switch is the home for indie games that are coming to console nowadays.
I don't know, I'm just not sure how much of a thing console release is going to be for something like this. I just feel like it's kind of niche, this whole
I think
game.
that's why it should be on the Wii U, so that 3 people can play it.
I
There's
wouldn't even be able to
still
play
people
the
that
release.
Just Dance.
I've never had a Wii U to this day.
Yeah, goddamn, the frickin'
I've one in a
he is still
backpack.
kicking with that Just Dance.
Yeah.
I know, I'm still didn't they release Just Dance
They
for the
released in
Wii as well?
It was
Like
coming
the
out
original
on-
Wii got the new version of Just Dance too.
Yeah, it just got the new one. The Wii U is discluded.
Like, that's crazy to me, but I get it because everybody and their fucking mom has had a Wii, or does still have one. Like,
Yeah, and they also use the Wii for physical therapy for a lot of people.
yeah.
So it does have the medical as well. So,
Man, isn't it still like the best-selling console of all time or something?
oh, it just got bumped by the Switch, bro.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I didn't think the Switch was doing that well to bump the Wii off the top. 'Cause the Switch hadn't even surpassed the PS4 and that kind of stuff yet. I mean, it's doing well, better than the Wii U, but not better than the Wii. The Wii U is kind of a low bar.
It was doing good, but I think it's
If
just.
we're talking about hierarchies. It's doing. Well, let's be honest here. Everything but the everything except for the Virtual Boy is better than.
Better than what? You cut out for just me.
Exactly. No one remembers the Virtual Boy.
I just remember it just sucked.
I mean, I know of it. I never saw it or played any of the games or even know what the games look like. I don't think I was.
Red.
Dude, you don't want to know what the games look like because you'll
I
get horrible
do.
headaches and see nothing but blood red.
I do kind of want to know, just for curiosity's sake.
It's like a Game Boy, but instead of black and white, it's black and red.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Nobody.
Why did it happen? Who okayed that decision?
The N64 was delayed and they needed a console, so they.
Was that literally the only reason that was a thing?
One of the reasons why it. Well, that's where I came to so fast.
Yeah, and on top of that, there was a bunch of other games that were planned for it, like a Wario game, a Star Fox sequel, and a couple of.
Oh god, it's Star Fox on that. That sounds like a nightmare.
Actually, it plays surprisingly.
I like it would play alright, just the colors. Poop.
Nah,
this
it's
should've-
not poop, man. It just makes your eyes bleed out red. You know,
That's
kind of
pretty
like how the console is supposed to look like.
I don't know.
But yes, the Switch. But releasing an indie game on Switch is pretty much hand.
I don't know, I'm just thinking, like, in terms of, like, the market for that kind of a thing. For this kind of game, I think the Switch would be, like, duh. Like, I just feel like that's a good place for this kind of game.
Switch.
Yeah.
Well, I would definitely see the price for this game in like $20, 25.
I can't see it being more than, like, that at all. I wouldn't charge more than that.
DLCs.
Ha.
Buddy, don't even get me started with DLC. I will sing that Disney song
Don't
about
you fucking
DLC.
dare.
Oh, God. I will ban you both
You
from the
know the
call.
one I'm talking about.
Yeah, shut
No
the hell
singing
up.
in this call. It's forbidden.
So singing is forbidden.
Yes, no singing in my calls.
The forbidden fruit.
Yes. I don't know, I just think, like, the market and audience for Switch would be, like, definitely the right place for this. I'm actually iffy on whether or not a Sony release would be a good move. So I don't feel like they really give a shit about retro kind of stuff like that. Their just general attitude towards it. I don't know. And I just don't know if the audience is really there for it anymore. Like, even I didn't buy a PS4 for, like, you know, colorful, fun platforming games. I bought it for, you know, fucking, like, modern, gritty shit, like, fucking Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff like that. Like, its graphics were, like, platform. It's just fine, but I just don't think Zera is really that kind of market.
Since Sony is kind of done goofing up a lot as of late, and that's kind of gambling with this, especially because a bunch of other things that's currently.
I'm just like, I don't know what would be the best decision. I think, though, for real, let's just say this. I would only ever want to really release on Sony just for the pure, like, nostalgia factor of it being on a PlayStation console, being what it is. But at the same time, I don't really think it fits on a modern-day PlayStation console. I don't really vibe with that.
See that.
Should be PC first.
It would be like the forgotten side of the Play market or the PS Store.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love that chain.
If you're gonna go with the nostalgia route, just like what happened with Crash and Spyro coming back on PlayStation at first, I guess that could work for about 1 year. Then you'd be allowed to open up Zera to the other guys, you know, in a similar fashion.
I would never do any kind of exclusivity shit. Games coming to PC first and foremost before anything else. And then if it's gonna come to something like PlayStation, it would also definitely come to fucking Switch. I wouldn't do just the PlayStation. Unless for some reason I just couldn't get a Switch release. But I don't know, I just feel like the market for like Switch audience is more fitting for something like this than modern day PlayStation audience.
Yeah.
So, I forget, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the goo for your question. E is a Mario speedrun. It's a joke that most people use, like shadow flips and shit.
Oh yeah.
Cyrus was trying to be gay about it and did it. So.
Yeah, so I watch a lot of Simple Flips. He's a streamer, does speedruns, like you said, of Super Mario 64 specifically, especially a lot of ROM hacks and things like that.
And covers them and tries to do challenge. Pretty impressive.
He also holds like ROM hack competitions and stuff. It's one of the, I would say, one of the reasons a lot of like ROM hacking for 64, like Mario specifically, is so alive and well at the moment. He's constantly sort of just on that shit. It's really cool.
Like here, I'll post a link.
I was gonna say, if it doesn't let you post it in the chat, link it in the one server and I'll post it. If it doesn't for some reason, I don't know if
it doesn't. I'll post it in the. I'll just post it in voice chat.
Actually, I was gonna say I could watch it. I could just turn on display capture and play it.
Well, I gotta get going back to work. Oh, by the way, did you check out my my level review videos, dude?
Yeah, I saw.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Where's
I'm
the-
actually do what I actually do mean when I say a great improvement from what was previously.
The original version was kind of rough. It's one of the things. That's why I want to take Miss Awaken that route, because I fear the original release of Miss Awaken will be like version 1 of Dark Rift or version 1 of Guy's Castle, where it doesn't have the polish that it eventually gets. So it's one of the reasons I want to go that route with this. Because second go around with it much better, and I've still got to do a bunch more things to it. It's gonna be a lot better in the end.
Alright, so I posted in the voice chat. Mike just grabbed.
Well, get going. Take care, boys.
Alright, see ya.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of like what's a good Simple Flips video to like give a preview.
Oh, shit, actually, let me pull that up. There is quite a few. Ghosty died, that's a fucking no-brainer.
Like,
I don't know, probably best is using his mind reacting.
I just know in general, like Simple Flips is it's one of the few streamers I ever watch. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. If you're on the Discord, just check Mike Chat. He posted a link to his channel. So hello,
Very
Cuboid.
impressive shit.
I mean, the stream's gonna be archived afterwards, so it might take a bit to show up fully, but it'll be up on the channel afterwards, so you're able to watch it from the beginning if you want to. Not that I think we've had super interesting conversation for the past like 2 hours or anything, but it's
Has it
there.
been 2 hours? Holy
It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah.
it's been a
well,
while.
yeah, it tells you. Dump. That's fair enough.
Good old OBS. How big do you plan on Zera being? Depends on what you mean by that.
6'7".
Yeah, her current height is 3'1", but she's gonna grow up and be a tall girl. She gonna be she gonna be at least 9 feet tall.
I wonder if he meant size is like game size.
She's gonna be Godzilla when all is said and done. That face placement right there is really awkward. I need to fix that still. Ah, fuck. I did that to myself. I don't even know how many people are watching at this point, because my pop-out chat doesn't show.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh, how big? Okay, he meant.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He probably wasn't talking about Zera's size.
Oh, you mean like in terms of the game size?
Yeah, like level.
Oh, I was like, I thought he either meant like height or popularity. I'm like, I don't know how height figures into anything, and I can't really control the other one, so I'm not sure. So it depends on which game. Like Zera, Otherworlds, this is gonna have just the one homeworld plus the boss, and I think 6 levels, possibly 5 in the boss. Just kind of depends. But Mist Awaken has 4 levels per homeworld, and there's gonna be 4 of those, plus a boss in each one.
Also, Pixel, just referring back to recently controllers, DualShock 2, he got that working. So,
honestly, PlayStation controllers piss me off with Unity. Even on Steam, let me just say that I've had such horrible luck getting my PS4 controller to work on like any game ever. It's so annoying.
Don't you love Sony?
Well, to be fair, part of it's Microsoft's fault because they're dicks. They don't natively support it, but they natively support the Xbox controllers, which like you had to go out of your way to get the freaking PS4 controller to work, and it's like it's not really compatible all that much.
I'm like, hey, you don't.
Yeah. Also, Microsoft sucks because they're like, yeah, our controllers are compatible, but unless you get the more expensive one, you need this adapter to use it. Thanks. Oh, unless you want to use a cord. Thanks, Microsoft.
Pay for more.
Remember?
They're planning on there being a Speedway equivalent. Other than the time trials, no.
Can I
Can you what?
Can I involve a link that was discussed with the Search and Sparrow level?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, honey. Still no idea.
No, I know what you mean by that.
No.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing legally. I don't know. I just don't really like speedways enough to be like, yeah, let's bring that over from Spyro. I don't know. Like the closest I'm gonna get is like the time trial thing, because much like swimming, I don't think flying in the games works great compared to like general ground movements. Also, Zera just doesn't fly, so. It's not to say that there won't be any kind of thing like that, but I would have to get it working really well, very smoothly, and be super fun in order for me to ever consider implementing it. There may or may not have been a test build of Honey Speedway in Zera with the flight cheat enabled. It was never a public thing, it was just dicking around after I made the flights for Zera thing. Because I got bored one day.
What was it? 3 hours?
What?
Some shit?
Sorry, cut out on my end of it.
Oh, okay. I don't know, you spent like just doing the flight code?
It was like a few hours worth. I was just like bored, procrastinating shit. And I was like, yeah, let me just do this. And I did.
Fucking, I remember you like. I did a thing.
Why did I do that?
I don't know. It was fucking funny. And then I think it was in like the work chat. Someone got it re-enabled in one of the things.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the only thing it's controlling is literally there's just a bool in Zera's, in her the controller that's like, is flight or not. If it's true, Zera goes to flight when you try to glide, and if it's not, then it's just by default, just, you know, like this currently. It's just never enabled in game. So if you got cheat engine, bust it out. You can enable flight in Zera because it is technically a thing. It's not ever gonna be like a feature of the game really. She doesn't fly.
She's kind of like hidden behind like code.
DLC paywall.
Literally just a fucking 2 meg. Not even as
It would literally be like, I don't even know how much, like a file size. It'd be like a 1 kilobyte file or something. It's like $10.99 Zera flight DLC. It literally just checks the pool in her fucking controller. Like, ta-da!
Fuck. I'm fucking build again. That was fucking fun. Not gonna lie.
Also, oh yeah, I forgot there was supercharge in that demo as well for Speedway.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that was amusing because you could like handspring and like do all kinds of crazy shit into it, and then get boosted with the handspring and the supercharge. It was fucking insane.
It's fucking crazy.
I wonder if I still have that build on my computer. I could play that on the stream.
Fucking. You actually posted it in the chat. Fucking.
Like, so the code for the flight in general is not bad per se. It's just there's a really jarring camera transition when you go from like not flying to flying, and I couldn't figure out what the hell is causing it. And it's probably because it's based off the previously really janky underwater camera system. So, which actually now should work better, considering the camera system got fixed in general. I don't have any way to assess that currently. It's just, it's kind of weird to go from that.
How fucking.
Yeah, let me find the build, and I might.
I'm trying. Oh, I found it here. Paint it for you.
I was gonna say I've got it in my downloads. I think.
Son of a bitch.
Or not my downloads. My Let's gotta find it.
I have a pin there, so.
Maybe I don't actually. Maybe I
Launch it
deleted
up.
it. Oh wait, no, there it is. Flight lel. That's what it's fucking named. Yeah, let me quit this, and then the screen should be blank for a minute. But
Who did the Dark Rift NC?
that's literally just a sound file I got from my website where I get sound effects from.
Copyright.
No, I pay for that.
Paid for hay.
Not that specifically. I just have a year subscription to be able to have access to stuff.
Fucking stealing shit.
Question is, was this pick this up as Zera? I'm gonna have to give it the screen. Oh, no, it works.
I'm hearing a whole bunch of actually,
Oh god, that should be what I do for Spyro versus Zera 3. Speedway level rebuild for
the wild challenge.
Oh god.
If you want.
You know that video is like my most viewed video now? Like, it's sitting at like almost 40,000 views, and I have no idea why. It's getting hella recommendations.
We have random.
Here you go, the wild. That's your, that's the action.
Yes, flight low, except about 1,000 E's in it. Also, if I remember correctly, I set this ground to be damaged. Yep, it's damaged.
Yeah, you did.
That's the effort.
The one thing you said you do, you fucking did it.
I don't know, there's a certain amount of effort I do for this kind of shit.
To effort. This was fucking interesting. Did even... Yeah, when you play this demo.
It's missing stuff from the... Oh, you know, this is missing certain things from the menu. I'm like, where are those bars for the volume and stuff? It's because it's not in this. It was before the menu changes, in other words. So this is like outdated now.
Extremely.
Isn't this damage too? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's her running in it. That's the thing. She doesn't have a supercharge animation. I never made one, so this is just her running animation, like her normal charge, sped up. So I put as much effort into this as Reignited did.
There you go.
Oh god.
Fucking Activision's gonna fuck.
That's soon number 2.
I do like the soundtrack for this level. I wish I would have put slightly more effort into this though, and actually put some relics or something in here to collect or something. So I'm like, this is cool
Yeah,
and all, but I'm
put-
just flying.
Yeah, you put them in with all that extra.
Okay, I'm gonna give this effort, and then I gave a slight amounts, but not that much. Also, the other reason her flight's kind of odd is for some reason, if you charge cancel her glide during flight, she starts dropping astronomically higher, like lower and lower.
My God. Yeah, that's
I don't know why. Like, if I go up super, super high, and then, like, just charge, I'm immediately canceling and going back into flight, but it's just like, look at that shit. That's crazy. Like, I don't know why that happens. It's one of the other reasons I wouldn't put the flight in anything, because it was just kind of
probably the
jankily
gravity.
programmed by me, and that's never any good.
Rob.
Yeah, overlapping code. Drop like a stone.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
Probably has to-
initially, it seems to build up over time. Like, the longer you are in the air flying for, and the more you do it, the quicker you drop. Because you don't initially drop like that. It's just the longer, like, before you hit the ground again, she'll just start dropping faster and faster.
It's like your falling velocity just keeps increasing. Even
It's like
though you're
some
not
BLJ shit. It's just infinitely building up.
building up behind the scenes. 12 years.
Yeah, fucking, it's
Store.
Oof.
You have to store the falling velocity. For
Yeah, it's
12
like,
years,
it's
so
getting built up pretty high, to where, like, eventually you could just go, like, all the way up, and, like, fall so quickly.
the world.
Yeah, like, that drop to the ground there is insane. Yeah, see, this transition here from, like, not flying to flying with the camera is just not smooth. It, like, jerks the camera around a bit. I don't know why.
It's probably snap. Fuck. Or some shit. I don't know. Good how you have it. So.
I don't know, and the camera's different now too, so it might work differently now. I don't know. Yeah, that's all this was though. It's just some like goof thing I made for me and the team to play after I did the flight. Just like, well, here's this thing you get to enjoy
did you
once.
share with the other people?
Yeah, I think I posted it somewhere in like team stuff for people to play with, but it's not publicly a thing for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure. One in the other channel or group.
No. Let's see I'm trying to see what other builds I have. Oh, there's the old Mystic Forest tease. Just looks super gross. Gaia's Castle test build. How old is this? Oh, this was made in
Oh, that was the old
January.
I think. Oh, never mind. Because I remember testing a build one, and
I'm gonna unzip this and see how old this version of Gaia's Castle is. Cause there's some pretty old versions.
because it was fucking the one where I was complaining about the colors, or in that room. I don't know. It might be that one. I'm not sure.
Oh god. Oh, this has... Okay, so... This has got the audio in it that we were using before. Netra made a track, and it's literally a remix of Inside the Castle Walls.
Oh. Yeah, that one was fun.
Oh god, this has got the old handspring jump timing. Oh god. Yeah, so this is what Gaia's Castle looked like on the 29th of January. You know, that doesn't make any sense. How is this from January? I didn't start working on that then.
No, that wasn't January. What?
Why does the date say January? That's not right. What? This also says 2018. What?
I'll be you first.
I call bullshit.
I'll be you first try. Be my idiots. Flips 2019.
I don't know what level I want to do next for the speedrun thing.
Speedrun.
You know what? I think this build is from like May 8th or something like that.
It's in May.
Yeah, this is in like early May build. So, you know, like a good 15 days before release.
I can actually dates. Cause this was fucking. Hold up.
Yeah, handspring is a lot slower. It's also a lot. It's got all of the original timings and stuff still. This didn't have any textures. What does this say?
Yeah, this was May.
Oh, this version didn't even have Cosmic Core. I don't even think I had started work on this.
No, Cosmic Core wasn't.
Oh god, and this guy said that was the gateway picture. And Gaia.
Yeah, this
doesn't do any damage.
build pairing, or how the clouds were bitching about the colors at one point, I think.
I'm like, just trust me, it'll look good.
Yeah, I said I could see did that with the roof. It isn't too bad. It's similar in blends. Like walking and seeing weird. The portals are clean. Works perfect as it is.
I'm really pleased with how it turned out, but it definitely needed that initial release and then subsequent updates to really polish it out. Like, this version's okay, at least of the areas that are actually built.
Yeah, like the cloud.
It's mostly the same, but this is definitely stuff that needed to be fixed up. Why does everything feel like it's playing slower in general? I didn't increase that much, like, speed-wise on Zera. Maybe I did. I think it's just because there's a lot of more delay, like a lot of that delay stuff's still in there, and all that input delay stuff's been removed now.
Yeah, maybe I'm not sure. Compared that one. I think there was a little bit. Oh wait, didn't
Also, this is before Gaia's particle were fixed to actually render over the skybox. You can see them here. They're only rendering on the world. It disappeared.
Oh, the fucking.
That was a long time glitch that I didn't fix until, like, Other Worlds.
I didn't fucking find. Ghosty was fucking like, what the fuck did you do or some shit.
Oh god, this has got the original janky camera. God, I haven't experienced this in a while. Holy shit. Ah. Oh god. It's so bad. Hello. Oh yeah, and I forgot this was gonna be like a nighttime level at first. Or like something like that. No, it was daytime at one point.
I'm not sure. Oh wait. Oh, when you were in the stream is a little bit late, but the field of view. That one was fuck.
Oh yeah, you could go to 0. Is it 0? Oh god. Oh yeah. The fields of view glitch. I forgot this was a thing.
Fucked.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I derped it up and like didn't correct something. So this field of view messes up Zera's position in the world visually. Like, it plays the same, but it's some issues.
It's like
I think that, yeah, I'm in the ground now. This is fucking hilarious. Also, I didn't already say so, hello, Chai Fox. Oh god, this is so weird. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about this field of view glitch. I don't even remember, it was something to do with like the camera rendering thing not being properly set up. This was doing some weird shit on emulated.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's like it's all fucked up. Oh yeah, I don't think I hooked up the field of view on one of the cameras or something, so it was only changing like for Zera or something like that. Or no, for the world. One of the two, and so it was just like everything else was like shrinking in the field of view or growing.
Now that one was probably the most.
This is hilarious though. Because like her shadow was rendered differently than her, so like her shadow was correct.
It's on the floor.
But she's just not. Like she's visibly floating here.
Field of view.
Oh god, and then giant Zera. Oh my god.
Fucking make
Godzilla.
everything tiny.
This is how big Zera is gonna be.
Godzilla 9.
This is how big I plan on Zera being. Oh god, everything looks so slow with this too.
Their next cheat you can work on in a couple of hours, making Zera bigger.
Oh, this is before you could chain handsprings. Oh wow, this is so weird. This definitely. Oh, yeah, this does not play as well. God. This is fucking hilarious.
This shit was interesting. Build overall was fucking great. It was probably one of the best.
I'm swimming! Swimming in other worlds. Yay! Oh god, the way the skybox moves around. Because it's
Jitter.
also... No, it's separate, again, with the camera rendering, with the FOV, so it's doing some own shit. Like, it's not moving with the world the same way, I don't think. Oh, it's so weird.
But yet all the collision.
Yeah, because everything works. It's still, like, the same physics and models and everything's in the same position. It's just visually, it's just fucked. It's so fucking hilarious, though.
This is how
She looks so slow like this, though. Like, because the field of view, normally when it's up higher, makes everything look faster, but because she's not being affected by it, she just looks like a giant that's, like, moving at the speed of, like, a turtle. It's so weird.
Oh.
The amount of height she seems like she gets from anything is just funky. It doesn't look like she's leaving the ground with the handspring. Alright, that's enough of that. Yeah, this stream's still going. Fuck. It's like, we're hitting 2 hours, 40 minutes now.
Lord.
Like, I think probably should stop at some point. Because,
Nipples died.
Yeah, Master Nipples went to go sleep. So it's literally just me and you and Nicole anyways. So.
Fucking Ghosty died.
Ghosty was always dead.
Yeah, fucking.
He just didn't exist. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for this stream. Zera and Chill. Whatever the fuck this was. So this was amusing though. Thank you everybody who like tuned in and shit. I don't know how often, if again this will be done, but it was fun. I enjoyed. Had a good time. So goodbye now.
Good night.
Yes.